Tracy from the Cake Craftery. Today I'm going to show you how I make large freeform wafer paper flowers. Let's get started. So this is what I use. I have several sheets of wafer paper, need scissors, I have, out of choice, I have white floral tape. I also have some that I've stripped down to 4 quarters, vodka, some wires. Now these are 24 gauge. You only need light wires for wafer paper. You could use, it doesn't have to be 24, you could use what you like, just not too heavy. Little palette, and I've got some vodka in these little dishes in the palette, ready for my colours. And the colours I'm using today are mainly welcome. I've got Enigma, Miltonia, Carmine, and then I have the Sugar Flare Blush Pink. Now I'm not sure if I'll use them all, but I thought these colours might look quite nice together. Is that everything? Paintbrush? So the first thing I'm going to do is mix some of my colours into the vodka. And I'm using a little palette knife to pick up the colour. Okay. I'm also going to need just some plain vodka, uncoloured, in there. And I just do these free-form. I probably want to get 2 out of each sheet. 2 at a time. So I'm going for a standard sort of a teardrop petal shape. The reason I do this freeform is because I want them to be a bit natural, give them a little bit of a wiggle. They're going to wiggle themselves up later anyway. I don't want them all to be exactly the same. Okay. So for this flower, we're just going to have 5 petals. Keep it simple. So the next thing I'm going to do is just put a little snip, probably just under the length of my scissors blade. I'm going to put a snip there, and I'm going to see how whether that curls up enough. No, maybe a little bit more. So that is the petals, 8 inches or 20 odd centimetres, and it's about just about 3 inches or 8 to 9 centimetres. Right, I'm going to continue to do those, and I'll be back with you in a moment. So next, you take your wires, and for these petals I'm going to just cut the wires in half. Now I've got a stronger pair of kitchen scissors here. I can't find my wire cutters, but these thin wires don't really need wire cutters anyway. There we go. Now I'm going to shape the petal by folding these 2 points together, sticking them together with a little bit of vodka, using the clear. And then before they sandwich together, I'm going to pop the wire in between these 2 layers, and hopefully that will stick it in. Easy as that. Now let's have a go. You don't want that to be too pointed at the back. The more you close these over, the more pointed it gets. So perhaps that much. Right, here we go with a little bit of vodka. Not too much. Actually, I'm going to turn it over and use the smooth side on the inside, I think. See how that turns out. Okay, my wire's there. Fold this over. Get my hands in the right place. Pop that over. Sandwich it in. I think I'll just do that for a little bit of added strength. Tuck them in nicely. Okay, I've got to do that to all of the petals, and then I'll be back with you in a minute. Okay, so my 6 petals are done, but I noticed on the back of this one, the wire has popped through, so I've torn a little piece of wafer paper with jaggedy edges because they blend in better than cut edges. So I'm going to slightly dampen that and cover up the wire and the little hole. There we go, and leave that to dry. Okay, I'm going to leave these to dry for just a few minutes. It doesn't take long because the alcohol evaporates. Now we're going to spritz. This is actually vodka in here. I'm going to give it a light spritz, both sides. And I'm going to add some of my colour to the edge. A bit watered down, with vodka that is. Maybe a bit of purple. This is just, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. You just play with it. It's a bit like watercolour really. Just let it soak in. A bit more there. Now these petals are wrinkly, freeform, definitely not smooth. They have that crinkled, wrinkled look, a bit like a sail really. But then when you put them together in a flower, they look quite effective. So you can see how it's just starting to curl on the edge. Now I want all this to wrinkle up and curl. You could leave it like that. I'm actually going to add some more colour. You could just have the edges, or you can have more colour coming in. Put it flat for the moment. Trying to avoid it sticking down to my surface, because I'm going to dry it off soon and I want to be able to hold it up. Now, don't want streaky lines. Just blend the colour a bit with the clear vodka. Get those lines as much as possible, so the darker edges are more defined and the centre's paler. Purple here. Now I like the centres of my petals to have a bit more colour. There we go. Right, so the next step for me, I find the easiest way is to, because it's almost palm size, place it in my palm. I'm going to move these out of the way so they don't blow around. I forgot to mention at the beginning that I use a hairdryer, so you could just leave these to dry naturally, but I like to have a little bit of control how they dry, so I'm sort of curving my hand around. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm just going to let the hairdryer on slow till it's thing. You can just move your fingers around a little to adjust the shape if you want. It's starting, I can feel it starting to go hard. It's still quite wet. See where it's stuck to my thumb? That's how I can tell that that bit's still wet. The rest's come away. Right. Turn it over, turn it back. Now if I wanted it more wrinkled than that even, I would spritz it again. I'm going to leave it like that for the moment. Bend that a bit so it goes the right way. It's coming through a little there. Oh, careful with that. I don't want to be cracking it by forcing anything. So that's number one. They're all going to be different. Here's another one. Spritz. And paint. What's to be that way? There we go. Bit of a clear to make that run a bit more naturally. See, these runs are fine, they're good. Come on. A lot more natural than brush strokes. Oh, nearly dropped my hairdryer. It's stretching out from the PowerPoint on the other side. And it wants to pop back there. Once again, I'm going lighter as I get to the middle, a bit more dark around the edges. And let's get it dry. Yeah, it's lifted. Okay. Okay, so one's wider than the other. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. When I come to putting them together, I might decide which ones to use and which not. It's always good to have some extra ones. I went ahead and finished all 6, and you can see they dry pretty well with the hairdryer. Pretty quick, no waiting, no leaving overnight. Now you can have a look at them, and if there's any that you think you want to touch up with a bit more colour, now's the time to do it. So I want a bit more here at the base. You don't want it too sopping wet, but you can always re-dry it with the dryer again. Just touch it around the edges, bit of an outline effect. A bit more here. You could just have an all white flower and just do it with clear alcohol or vodka. I think the pure alcohol would probably dry even faster. I don't have any in. We're shut down at the moment, so I can't get any either. But the good old Smirnoff is working quite well, and more than adequately. Okay, there we go. What you need to do next is just the same thing you do when you make sugar flowers. Bend the wire, pinch this bit to protect it from snapping. Bend the wire to the angle you want. If you imagine the flower standing up, this angle is how open you want your flower to be. If you want it to be really open and quite flat, you just bend it more. If you want it to be closed, like a vase sort of shape, tulipy shape, bend it up more. So I'm going for about halfway. There, 45 degrees. And I'm going to do that with them all. There we go. Now, this one's a lot more purple than the rest. I have got 6, so I'm going to put him aside and hopefully use him for another flower, because having one purple one is not really going to go. There will be others. If I decide I need 6, I can always touch up some more purple on the other petals. Okay, that one's about right as it is. You can adjust these once the flower goes together as well, just like when you're making sugar paste or gum paste flowers. Okay, they're done. This is where your thin strip of white floral tape comes in. Now see, I haven't worried about it. It's thick at one end and thin at the other end, but it's just to use almost like a piece of cotton. I'm going to stretch that a bit now, and then just cluster these together. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the key here is just to have all these bits tightly together. So I'm going to take this little piece of floral tape, hold it down with this finger, and just bind it close up before I do the actual taping. And you could do this with a piece of cotton. I just don't have any white cotton because I'm not much of a sewer, and the shops are shut. Okay. Now, I don't want my stem to be that long. You may need it to be that long, but I don't, so my kitchen scissors and just snip into the same length. Here we go. I'm going to get my, I think I need some new glasses. I can't see the end. Here it is. Going to get a length of this, snip it off, stretch it out. Place it over the taping we've just done and start. No, I'm not much of a sugar flower maker, so my technique here is probably not something you should be following. But for the purpose of this, it's probably okay. I've made quite a few sugar flowers in my time, but they're a labour of love for me. And there we go. Now, it's all a bit wonky. I'm going to have a little fiddle to try and get it where I want it. It's sort of magnolia-y looking. And a bunch of these on top of a cake. It looks quite effective. Now, you could do I don't know, you could do a gum paste centre, you could do a bit of scrap wafer paper, maybe put that on a wire and have that joined in to start with if you want a yellow centre, or a proper gum paste centre, just add that on a wire as well, and as you're putting them in, put that in the middle. There it is. Doesn't look anything spectacular, but when you've got a cluster of them together and put them on top of your cake, they actually do look rather nice. I've closed my flower up a little bit. I didn't like it quite so open. And because my cake is going to have some gold on it, I thought I would just do a little bit of gilding on the edges of the petals. So this one is the Pure Gold by Sugar Flare. Too much alcohol, that can be a problem, can't it? Especially when we're stuck at home. And the whole world is stuck at home with a lockdown. Right, just slightly creamy. And I'm just going to, you can see that, just gold. Not all the way around, just pick out a few random edges. Now you could do this once they're all in position on the cake, because then you'll get a better feel for where you want the gold. But we're not doing that. We're not doing the cake at the moment. Just to give you the idea. You can adjust the size of your flowers so by cutting smaller petals at the beginning, maybe quarter size a sheet of paper, or whatever size you like to suit the cake you're going to make or the purpose you want the flowers for. You might also choose to paint the stems gold to be in keeping with the edges. That's probably enough. So there you have it. One hand dried with a hairdryer on my hand, fantasy flower. So the flowers on this cake are half the size again. That is 4 petals per sheet of wafer paper. Exactly the same method. I hope you like it. Bye for now.